Ben.
You gotta start.
Let me try to.
Legal Voice has always been an organization that fostered risk-taking and courage and, really supporting each other to move forward. And that's how we're handling the situation we're in now. There's no question that we're impacted by the economic impact of COVID. And it's going to be something that we are anticipating over the next couple of years, but we're thinking creatively. We're looking at ways that we could be approaching our work differently, ways that we could be working with community in a new and different way. And so it's really about moving forward. It's not about getting stuck and, just feeling like, oh no, what can we do? I guess we've never approached things that way. We've always felt like we should be thinking about how we can move forward.
Just as in 2009, the board really had the foresight to kind of take the steps that it needed to really set up infrastructures to make sure that Legal Voice could make it through the recession. We have always had the benefit of forward-thinking boards like that, like our current board that has voted and supported us in our co-leadership model, our shared leadership model, recognizing that we don't need to retain status quo infrastructures of leadership, that there are new models out there, there are community models out there, there are collective models out there that can actually enhance the organization and our work and help us support the communities that we serve.
I'm excited about our organization's ability to live our values, to invest in shared leadership among 4 incredibly qualified but diverse leaders who bring expertise from direct service, from advocacy, from operations and finance, and we bring each our own voice and each our own experience, but also a real commitment to support each other into our most successful selves. And we bring that work to our team too.
Because, shared leadership isn't just about senior leaders. It's about the entire organization and how we encourage every staff member to really lean into their own leadership in this organization. So it's really an opportunity. It's really exciting. I feel like Legal Voice is such a special place. And it always has been. And I feel so grateful to be able to work alongside this amazing team with amazing and courageous board members to see what happens in the coming months.
I'm excited that Legal Voice is going in the direction of burning it all down. We are no longer going to be the civil, polite nonprofit that is going to maintain the status quo. Systems have let our communities down. Infrastructures have let our clients down. The fight is long and hard, and I don't think Legal Voice is going to be holding back at all moving forward.
We have a responsibility to our whole community and to each other, and we take those things very seriously. And
a lot of organizations are newly grappling with the understanding of race equity and learning about the challenges that their community partners and allies and neighbors who are Black and Brown and Indigenous and other communities of color are facing. And the folks on our team have been learning to engage in really, really powerful ways that allow us to be thoughtful and supportive of all of our staff and all of our community more than we would have been able to do during the summer if we hadn't done this earlier work.
COVID in particular and sort of the racial justice reckonings happening across the country has provided opportunities for us to engage in community in more intentional ways than maybe we've had in the past. Really asking us how can we work directly with instead of for communities.
The challenges that the communities are still facing are challenges that have existed for a long time. We're actually having to go back and re-litigate, re-legislate, re-advocate for issues that, you know, the legal voice community may have felt were resolved 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
And then also like just the you know, issues are interconnected, right? Like healthcare, employment, gender-based violence, all related. And I think that just goes to confirm why we need to have a very intersectional approach and holistic approach to our work.
And I think as a legislator, the work that Legal Voice does is so important because no one legislator can have the deep relationships with every community. No one legislator can do the stakeholder engagement and have those community meetings the way that an organization like Legal Voice with multiple attorneys and multiple practice areas can be invested and embedded and build those trusting relationships. So I really value, you know, even before I became a staff member, the strong depth of knowledge and the deep relationships that our staff have, and the way that our staff are able to come into a room in Olympia and bring those voices and expertise, and often recommend other folks who should also be invited to the table to make sure that folks who are impacted are heard.
So shared leadership is something that I learned about from the rest of my team. And it's been so fantastic to be able to have the opportunity to learn new things and to really appreciate how all of these ideas and concepts will make a positive change and contribute to the direction that we want to go, really lives into our values, like others have said. And I think of the potential that comes from our shared leadership.
It's not about one person being representative of Legal Voice or the institutional knowledge. It's recognizing that we all have knowledge and value and skills that can contribute to the larger conversations that are happening in our communities. And that is why it's so exciting.
To think about leadership in a different way, to reimagine processes for decision making, power dynamics within an organization. You know, we just adopted a set of race equity values in the spring, and I think it's easy to, you know, around race equity to think about it in terms of very transactional terms. And a lot harder to actually live into these values, right? Like it was easy to put them together, but then how do you actually operationalize them? And we are doing that, you know, with the shared leadership model.
I think this is an amazing time to be a part of an organization like ours, and one in which, you know, our supporters can really invest in organizational change, in systems change, not only in our nonprofit, not only in the Washington State Legislature, not only in Idaho, but across the nation as a model, where organizations, so many nonprofits are thinking about how to live into the values of this movement moment, how to change and adapt. We are ready, and we are going boldly into that next chapter, and we couldn't do it without each other, and we couldn't do it without all of you who believe in us and believe in our future.